By now, everybody knows that Donald Trump has announced his candidacy for President of the United States for the 2024 election, the earliest that any political candidate has actually announced a run for political office, any political office in this country in history. He's not. We know why he's doing this. The first time he did it for the fame. The second time, now he's doing it to stay out of prison. But to reiterate this, I want to play you the audio from last night, that being November 15th, 2022, not too long after the announcement was made by MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell of The Last Word. He'll articulate the real reasons why he's running for president more than I can.
Well, Donald Trump has filed a statement of organization with the Federal Election Commission announcing the formation of Donald J. Trump for President 2024 committee. The filing says this committee is a principal campaign committee. This is the most desperate filing the Federal Election Commission has ever received. This is the earliest announced presidential candidacy in history. In history. This is announcing more than a year and a half before the very first votes will be cast in any form in Iowa or New Hampshire. This is not about running for president. This is about something else. It is well documented that Donald Trump's first campaign for president was not about becoming president. It was a desperate campaign to increase his fame with no plan or expectation to win anything other than more money as a television performer. Tonight's announcement by Donald Trump that he is a candidate for president again is, like the last time he announced he was running for president, actually about something other than running for president. This is Donald Trump's attempt to run away from prosecutors by running for president. Donald Trump is the very first announced candidate for president in history who is a former president under two federal grand jury criminal investigations and at least one state criminal grand jury investigation in the state of Georgia. That's the candidacy that was announced tonight, the triple grand jury candidacy of Donald Trump. Donald Trump made this announcement at the very moment when the pause is over. The pause is over. There is nothing written in the law about the pause, but it has been a long-standing Justice Department policy to not take any public investigative or prosecutorial actions against a politician during the height of campaign season, which the Justice Department defines as beginning 2 months before Election Day and ending the day after Election Day. That's the pause. And the pause is over. Georgia's Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis observed a similar pause in her criminal investigation of Donald Trump's and others' attempts to falsify the results of the presidential election in Georgia in 2020. Today, District Attorney Fani Willis had Georgia Governor Brian Kemp testify under oath to the special grand jury. The governor's testimony had been delayed during the pause, which is over. Trump White House staffer Cassidy Hutchinson is scheduled to testify tomorrow because the pause is over. She testified to the January 6th committee about Donald Trump's call to Georgia's Secretary of State, trying to convince him to change the vote count in the presidential election.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
The pause is over on that phone call today. It's all over. And that's why Donald Trump ran up to a microphone tonight to desperately announce a candidacy 2 years before an election, the earliest announcement of a presidential candidacy in history, because Donald Trump is being pursued by grand juries. And he is hoping that becoming a candidate will inhibit or prevent Attorney General Merrick Garland from charging Donald Trump with a crime. That is Donald Trump's gamble tonight in announcing a presidential candidacy.
The pause is over. That is one of the most elegant things I could possibly say about Donald Trump's little idea of running for president now in 2024, in 2022, when the presidential election isn't until 2024. We all know that he has this idea that if I announce my candidacy now, I get to stay out of prison. It doesn't work like that. I've done my research, and there is no way that a political candidate, regardless of when and if he or she announces, is immune from prosecution. Trump is going to be prosecuted one way or another. I just received information that disgraced General Michael Flynn is being forced to testify in the Georgia grand jury case. And I can only imagine what Flynn is saying to them. Here's the facts. Trump doesn't give a damn about this country. He never did. He's spent his entire life, his father, probably his father's father, has spent his entire life doing nothing but profiting off of this country. In fact, one of the lines from the movie 12 Years a Slave, when Benedict Cumberbatch's character adds Paul Giamatti's character, where he had a sentimentality as he was selling slaves, his response was swift, saying, "My sentimentality extends the length of a coin." That is Donald Trump. In this particular case, his sentimentality extends the length of a dollar. He doesn't care about the people who are suffering in this country, who have to decide between paying gas in their car, or gas in their homes, or groceries. He does not care about that at all. He just believes that the presidency gives him immunization for prosecution. It doesn't. That is the only reason why he is doing this now, 2 years before the presidential election even happens, because he thinks it's going to save him, which it will not. And as for the people out there screaming all this, prayers to you, Trump, we're behind you 100%. Donald Trump is not behind you at all. And you've shown to me at that point, when you say that, you show me how far you have fallen. How far you think how far you believe this man is going to go to bat for you. He won't. I'm so sorry. I have to be the one to snap you back out of your fantasy world of Donald Trump being some kind of savior when he's really akin to the devil himself. But that's the way it has to be in order to snap you back to reality. Then that's the way it has to be. The pause is over. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.